Greetings from light. You are here today in order to awaken two dormant energies within you. One is the energy of your own feminine. We shall explain why we refer to it as dormant. And the second is your energy as spiritual mother. Not physical mother, not emotional mother, spiritual mother. Let us begin with your feminine energy. We say that it is dormant because at most times it works on the command of the masculine energy. So, for example, if you wish to use the feminine energy in order to sing, it is the masculine energy that first gives you the command, that makes you look around the room to see if anyone shall make fun of you, shall make you judge whether it is the appropriate moment to sing. And when all such parameters are cleared, it is then that the masculine gives the feminine the permission to sing. And that is why we call it a dormant energy. Very, very rarely does the feminine act upon its own will. And we repeat, even in those actions which are dominated, which can only be performed by the feminine energy, even in those actions it is the masculine energy that gives permission. So you are going to now make that feminine energy active. Not only so that it acts upon its own will, but in fact then controls, directs the masculine energy and gives the masculine energy the permission that it needs. When the masculine energy is in a state of hyperactivity, and the feminine energy is dormant, as we have explained, there shall be condemnation, judgment, distinction, separation, ego, power play, control issues, misuse of power. The masculine energy needs to function out of the cradle that feminine energy provides. When it functions separate from the feminine energy, and in fact dominates the feminine energy, it always becomes a warped energy. And its actions, words that come out of such a warped energy naturally are also warped and misdirected. So many of you seated here have either voiced or thought about a desire to channel effortlessly, smoothly. But very often that does not happen. Why? Because the feminine energy is dormant and the masculine energy remembers all your other lives. When you have channeled, but you have been condemned for it, punished for it, maybe even killed because of it. You have all channeled in many, many other lives. Channeled as effortlessly, powerfully and smoothly as you at present desire to. But you channeled many a times in those eras where this was not prohibited. And you channeled many a times in those eras when it was prohibited. In those eras when it was not prohibited, the feminine energy was the beacon that was in the forefront guiding the masculine. But as times evolved, the masculine energies became stronger and more dominant, and the feminine energy began to retreat and then silently lay low, allowing the masculine to become more and more domineering. In such times, channeling was prohibited. And those who channeled, whether openly or in secret, were very harshly dealt with. This memory of the harsh, often brutal punishment resides in your energy system, resides in the feminine energy, and resides with the masculine energy. So when the feminine energy asks permission because it is still a dormant energy, the masculine energy with that memory replies no. And when it says no, you begin to believe that you do not have the ability, or what you have often called as the gift, to channel. But that is completely and utterly not true. You have all channeled before. You may call it past lives, we wish to call it other lives. So the first thing you have to do is to call all those lives when you were prohibited, not when you were not prohibited. You shall call to you all those lives when you were prohibited, and you shall cleanse the masculine, feminine imbalance in those lives. Only when you have cleansed the imbalance in other lives will you be able to awaken, activate the feminine energy now. The feminine energy that resides within you at present firmly believes, is trapped in the belief that when it is active, when it is in the forefront, it is threatened. So let us, for a short while, bring ourselves deep into an inner temple dedicated to the goddess that you are. Enter this beautiful temple dedicated to you. You are the goddess that sits upon that altar. As you sit in the inner sanctum of this holiest of the holy temples, call in all your personalities of other lives. When you have channeled and faced harsh consequences for that, as these personalities gather around you, you may only sense them rather than see them. But as they gather around you, you shall now stand up tall and walk towards the sacred sanctum where sits the goddess. Walk towards that sanctum, and as you walk, you begin to realize that the outer goddess disappears and you take her place in this holiest of holy temples. And as the goddess of this temple, you face all your other personalities. And gently raising your hands up from the palms of your hands, you send the most potent goddess energy to these personality lives, to gently cleanse from them the fear that resides within them, the fear that the feminine energy shall be condemned, abused, violated. Free your former other personality lives from this fear. Radiate the strength of your goddesshood. Whether man or woman, there resides in each being the goddess, the supreme goddess, the holder of the supreme feminine energy. The world needs this energy today. And for this energy to flow and to be supreme as it should, the feminine energy must be cleansed of all fear. All fear of itself, fear of its own power, fear of its might, fear of its ability, fear to be in the forefront of cosmic creation. Gently but firmly tell each one of your personality lives that you shall now channel this supreme feminine force, that you are not scared to channel. Declare yourself a channel of the highest cosmic feminine force. The cosmic heart of the goddess opens wide. And into this heart, draw in each one of your personality lives. Let them be completely merged with the supreme goddess that you are. When all the personality lives have entered the cosmic heart of the goddess that you are, feeling awakened, feeling strong, you can open your eyes as the supreme feminine force. You shall have to do this each day for some time to come, so that you continually, at least once in 24 hours, activate this supreme feminine force within you. It is time for each and every being on this earth, man or woman, to have the supreme feminine force in the forefront. The goddess must give the command, and the god executes the command. That is how the universe functions. That is how the cosmos functions. And it is only then that there is harmony and balance. There cannot be harmony. We repeat, there cannot be harmony within or outside if the masculine force directs the feminine force. The world needs you to channel. How you channel and what you channel shall be beautifully unique to each and every one of you. But the world needs you to channel the supreme goddess. You, beloveds, would not exist either as physical beings or even as souls if the supreme feminine goddess had not directed cosmic creation. You are because she is. By 2017, there must be a complete role reversal. We repeat, whether man or woman, the supreme goddess that resides within, the supreme goddess that is each and every being, must be the creator of each moment of each day. At present, almost each moment of each day is created by the masculine energy. You as a human race have placed the burden of creation upon an energy that has no ability to take on that responsibility. How effortlessly you take on the responsibility of carrying a child in your womb. You do not expect, even for a moment, that your husband or your partner shall do that. As effortlessly as you do this, so must you take on the joyous responsibility of cosmic creation. Only then can there be balance and harmony. The reason why this microcosm that you call your body is in imbalance is because the masculine energy dominates, the feminine energy remains dormant. And that brings us to your role as spiritual mother. And once again, we do not direct these words only to women. We are urging all men as well to hear our words. In order to leave the past behind and to move into a joyous future, the goddess has to express herself as the spiritual mother. And what is this spiritual mother? The spiritual mother is one who lets go of her child the moment it is out of her womb, recognizing that her womb only gave the child the environment it needed to grow physically. But once it leaves that physical environment, the soul of the child blooms on its own. Which parent today, and we use the word parent because once again we reiterate, man or woman, the gender is irrelevant. Which parent today is a spiritual mother? In fact, as soon as the child is born, the masculine energy of both parents, mother and father, directs the child to be what the parent desires it to be. And very, very often, it is in the name of love and care and protection, which it is. We grant you that which it is. But beloveds, that love and care and protection is being directed by the masculine energy. And the masculine energy can only control. That is its task. How else would execution be possible? The feminine energy creates, and then lets the creation bloom into the flower of the soul that it is. Look at your animals. They do not hold on to the young ones that they give birth to. They provide the environment. They provide the nurturing. And then in a few weeks, they allow nature to take its course. And the young ones move away to grow and develop as they desire, as per their will. Which plant keeps a tight hold of the plant that has been born out of their seed? Which plant decides how many fruits, the size of the fruit, the number of the flowers? It is only the human race that does this, because it is only the human race where the masculine energy directs. Do you believe that the plant and the bird and the reptile and the fish and the animal kingdoms do not have masculine and feminine energy? You are wrong. Every living being, including your living rocks, has masculine and feminine energies. And in all living beings except the human race, the natural state of the cosmic goddess reigns supreme. And that is why, beloveds, you have seasons. The cosmic goddess knows what to create, when, and does it without predetermined thought and planning. One fine day you wake up and find all the leaves are a beautiful red. What happened? Who decided? How did the tree decide? How did all the trees in the forest decide? The goddess does not decide. The goddess knows when to create, and creates in a moment. The god decides. And your world is entirely based on decisions. Should we go to the channeling? Yes, no. How should we go? When should we go? With who should we go? Is there any moment of your life which is not a decision? Seems like we are asking you to turn your world upside down. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. But slowly, gradually, in a manner where there shall be new tumult, no chaos. It shall happen effortlessly. And you shall continue to make decisions. But those decisions shall come only after the Supreme Goddess has created a moment. And the decisions of the God that you are shall only respond to that creation. Lives cannot move forward if the Goddess does not reign supreme. How often have you spoken or thought that you are stuck or trapped in a particular situation? And sometimes the situation goes on for years. When the Goddess is allowed to create a solution to the situation, it shall be in one instant. It is because you ask your God to create a solution that it takes years, because creation is not the function of the God energy, it is the function of the Supreme Goddess. And so it is time for you to become spiritual mothers. But first, be spiritual mothers to yourself. Let your inner child be free. How closely you direct your inner child. React. Do not react. Respond. Do not speak these words. Do not think this. Do not judge. Speak the truth. And it is sad, but the more you learn of spiritual laws, the more you hold tight to your inner child, demanding that it follow those spiritual laws. Beloveds, if you have to force yourself to follow the spiritual laws, you are not following them at all. Be the spiritual mother to your inner child, and let the inner child be free. What are you scared of? What are you scared of? Are you in fact scared that residing within you is an untamed devil? Are you scared of that? Are you scared that residing within you is not a very godly part? And that if you were to let your inner child be free, what you fear is ungodly might rear its head? And we are going to tell you here today, even if it is ungodly, set it free. For you shall not tame that which is ungodly. You have to set it free so that it is taken up into the womb of the spiritual mother into the womb of the cosmic goddess and gently soothe it back to divinity, which it is in any case, but which it might have forgotten. But you hold on tight. You shall not get angry. You shall not speak untruths. You shall not be greedy. Who can give such commands, beloveds? Who can give such commands? The inner Father. Let the Father rest. He is tired as well. So let us once again go within. And this time let us go into a sacred womb. A holy womb. Not one where there is judgment of self, where there is condemnation of the inner child, but into the holiest of holy wombs that lies within you. And in that womb, see your little divine child. You do not need to correct this child. It is divine. And just as you are divine and can only channel the divine, the child within is divine as well and can only be divine. It can be nothing else. Gently feel the cosmic goddess that you are awaken and take this child into your arms. O Divine One, I am your spiritual mother. I shall always love and nurture you. I shall always be the source of your strength, your power. I recognize the purity of your divine state. And I set you free. I do not need to direct you about untruths, for you are the purity of truth. I have no need to curb your anger, for you are the font of peace. I neither judge you nor condemn you, for I know that all your thoughts, your words and your actions are directed by your own Supreme Goddess. And I bow in gratitude for being a part of me as I am a part of you. divine little being, grow as you will, grow as you must. I give you full permission to be your greatest divine self. For I know that only then, in setting you free, can I walk towards my soul mission. Set your inner child free. It is when all are able to set their inner child free that they shall be able to not control their own children. And when children grow up free from harsh control, they shall portray their divinity, their purity, their goodness, their innocence. They shall allow the Supreme Goddess within to be in the forefront. But all that must start by you setting your inner child free. Each of you is a beautiful goddess. The world waits for you to see that. The world waits for your energies. Be light, beloved goddesses. Be light.